Hey everybody, how you doing? It's your brother from another mother, Brother Mays. That's right, live with the Brother Mays show. Hey, I told you I was coming back, man, and I'm coming back strong. Now, of course, this time around, I have to say, you love to interview people, but you don't want to interview them in the state of situation that they're in as we speak. And this young lady has been interviewed by me before, Miss Marquita Owens of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Good old college friend of mine, of course. I call her like my sister and everything. But she is also the CEO and, of course, the owner of Blueprint Studio there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And as a matter of fact, a cycling studio. And how are you, Marquita?
Under certain conditions, I am great.
Now, for anybody that knows me, I like to put a subject to everything. And of course, the title of this show tonight is actually called Healthy, Not Healthy. And one of the reasons why is because Marquita is now a COVID recipient, if I may say, just because she's been quarantined after a recent episode where one of her clients has became positive, so she's taken all the precautions. So we're going to just talk about this tonight. A couple of things that I really want to focus on, Marquita, is first of all, how are you feeling?
Actually, surprisingly good. Like I don't have COVID.
Right. Well, I mean, and here's the thing: if for anybody that doesn't know, Marquita was one of the people that I had interviewed uh, back about a few months ago. But one of the reasons I interviewed her because she had did a documentary of her journey in regards to her losing weight, her body transformation, and all this happened over a period of 366 days instead of 365, and that's why she goes as the 366 fit mom on Instagram. So I'm going to allow her to kind of just explain a little bit to not only you guys but really explain to me what really happened. I mean, you get a phone call, as you were telling me, from one of your clients, so kind of go from there.
Yeah, so it was on a Friday. I'm getting ready to do my last class of the evening, and I get a call, and they say that they had COVID, just tested positive for COVID, and I was like, oh my goodness. I mean, the whole thing of, are you okay, blah blah blah. So uh, they were like they had flu symptoms and whatsoever, and to me it stunned me because I had just seen them at the beginning of the week, a couple of classes they had been to, and for me, whenever people come into my studio, I do all the safety precautions, but besides that, I'm crazy. Before COVID, I was crazy when it came to people being sick. So people know that I'm on top of, making sure that you're not ill coming in. So she didn't have a temperature that day, didn't display any signs. We wear masks too. So I was just kind of running through my head, well, maybe I don't have COVID. Maybe she got COVID after I seen her. I mean, but I went ahead and got tested. My first test was a negative, but being that I'm around people all the time, I didn't feel comfortable teaching another class until I knew for sure. So I took a second test, and the second test said that I was positive. So that's where I am now at home quarantining because I ended up having a positive results. The only symptoms that I was having was just a little nasal stuffiness first thing in the morning. But I mean, that's something that I've always had this time of the year. So for me, it didn't scream COVID. It just screamed maybe you're getting a sinus infection like you normally get around this time of the year.
Now, that was one of my questions, not to cut you off, but that was actually one of my first questions, is that what was the major difference you encountered since testing positive, health-wise?
Health-wise is just the nasal congestion, but which that wasn't like nothing to me too big.
Mm-hmm.
The major thing was being tired. I
Mm-hmm.
noticed that I have been getting tired just out the blue. You know, I would get
Mm-hmm.
tired, and then doing a workout, my endurance
Mm-hmm.
was super low, and then whenever I got done with the workout, I was depleted,
Mm-hmm.
like I had ran a marathon. And I'm usually the person after a 45-minute class, like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, how you guys doing? Are you guys good? And to do like
Uh,
maybe 4 songs and feel like super ran down, that was
mm,
like a, yeah, something. I got something. But I mean,
right,
if this is what COVID feels like, you know,
right.
in a healthy body, you know, I'll take it. But that was like the big thing for me, was feeling super tired. Or if I was stressing, it
Mm-hmm.
made me feel like all my energy was zapped. So
Wow, wow.
stress and doing any kind of cardio kind of zapped all my energy.
Okay. Now that brings me to say this because I want to kind of back up and give people the storyline. You just recently had just opened up your dream shop. We're talking
Yeah.
about I want to say this correctly, the blueprint. The
Yeah.
blueprint. Tell us about how things were going because I know I would follow along and I'm looking, I'm I'm like, man, this place is bigger than what I expected to be because I was looking at all your pictures and then I was seeing people work out and all that. Kind of tell us about because you were on this rise. I mean, you was everybody talking about the blueprint, and next thing you know, you get COVID.
Right. It just
What's
basically just took off. And the crazy thing is right before I got the blueprint, we did an interview, and this wasn't
Mhm.
even in the works of it.
Right,
So
right,
I
right.
remember you speaking like something good was going to happen or whatever else. But fast forward to probably not too much longer after our interview, the blueprint was birthed. You know, so uh, 2 months in, I'm 2 months into to having the blueprint studio, and business was growing. Memberships were starting to grow. Getting people in on a consistent basis, getting people who were like, I'll never cycle, fall in love with cycling. You know, to
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
like the major best part of it all, you know, because there's been plenty of people who have seen me be a cycle teacher for years now, but have never rode with me. But now they bought a membership to ride with me because they found a love for it, and they've seen that it's been beneficial to their body. I've had clients that have lost in 2 weeks 5 pounds, to people who have been there with me for a month, that have dropped weight dramatically. So it was going, and I'm still going to say is going well. It's just this minor, you know, setback. So
So kind of talk about that a little bit because now you had your friends that were joining and supporting you, your family supporting you. Kind of talk about from the family standpoint, what was their initial reaction and their support? Because here's the thing that I noticed when I was watching one of your posts, I saw that you said my kids or my husband sent me this picture and they're real serious, and it was the taping, like as if you went to a crime scene and said "Do not enter" from the inside your house. So kind of talk about that and how they're dealing with this.
they've actually been super good and super supportive,
Uh,
super strict at times.
yeah, because I get this
To
picture that they're sliding you food under the door or
Well,
something.
they'll come in, and they want me to stay far away from the door.
Uh,
I know the very first day they were rationing food to me a little bit, but my
uh,
husband's like, "Hey, I don't want to hear you say that you gained weight over COVID, so I'm trying to
oh
feed you how
my
you
God.
normally how you normally eat."
Now that goes into a question I'm going to ask you because you already had from a nourish standpoint, you have your own juices. And so a lot of
Yeah,
your own juices that you make and you sell, they help in a way. So
yeah.
how has that and talk about that a little. How has that helped you with your taking your own juices?
I would, it's funny that you asked, because I just was doing a live earlier and telling people I believe that's one of the reasons why I probably haven't had any symptoms, or while I'm doing so well with my cardio health. Yeah, it's affected me a little bit, but to me, there's one juice that I have. It's called Bold and Bougie, and it has beets in it. Beets help your cardio health.
Yes.
So it helps your heart health too. So it's really important to drink it right before you do any kind of cardio workout. So for me, I feel like all the stuff that I've done before COVID has prepared my body for right now.
For what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's very interesting, because I remember in the last conversation, I had spoke to you. I was doing a lot of changes with my health, and since then I have been juicing. I've lost more than 27, 28 pounds in almost 2 months, like, to the point where I felt like, as long as I stayed on this regimen, I'm going to get to my goal, within a period of 4 months. And I was doing great. So with that being said, have you seen an increase in people saying, hey, I want to buy more juices? Or, I mean, how is business being run, even though you're not there? I mean, kind of give us an idea.
Right now, it's basically, since I've just been under COVID quarantine, everything is just kind of laying low. I got a lot of people who were buying from me all the way up until quarantine that can't wait to get the normal juices that they usually get. I would say for me, it made it to where now I can put together packages and stuff. So it was kind of like a blessing in disguise too, to where I could kind of fall back a little bit and focus on the juice business and have it more, not that it wasn't organized, but to where now it's going to work for me even better, because to me, I'm a product of my, I'm a testimony of my,
yes, a testimony, exactly.
For not only with fitness, but the way that I've lived my life and how, COVID affected my body. So, I mean, I'm a testimony to everything that I've done. So
being quarantined, a lot of people lose different types of liberties, things that they sometimes take advantage. So my question is to you, what was some of the liberties that you lost immediately, and you said, oh my God, I can't wait until
walking around, walking around the house.
So you understand what it's like being a little bit of a prisoner, a little bit, you're looking outside the gate like this.
Yes. And I am the type of person that I don't know how to be still. It kills me to have to be still. I feel like a caged animal right now. So it's like, it's one thing to be quarantined in your house, but to be quarantined in a room, and if you crack the door open, your family's like, "What are you doing? What are you sitting?"
Yep.
You sneak tippy-toeing out whenever they're gone out the house and spraying it back down. So I would say having to be still, that was something really tough for me, because I don't know how to rest. I don't know how to rest, and this is making me be in a season of rest. So
this I can definitely concur with you on that, because being in my situation, I'm always up, running around, whatever the case may be. Of course, there's times I can't even get up and walk 10 feet because of my situation, and I'm like, my mom's looking at me like, what's wrong? And I'm like, you just don't understand, but at the end of the day, I totally get it. Kind of take me back a little bit, because I recently had a friend of mine that lives in St. Louis, Missouri, and unfortunately she passed. She passed to COVID. And so
sorry.
No. Here's the thing. It kind of tied in a little bit to some of the pre-existing conditions that she had. She was dealing with cancer prior to. She just came off of that battle, but her body was weak. And of course, she attained it from her brother, and of course, her brother, who is still alive. He talked to me about some things But one of the things that he did mention too was about the fears that he faced when first knowing that he had COVID, and even some of the things that she faced. And she talked to him about, kind of expressed to people the fears that came across, if any, that came across your mind once you learned that you were positive.
I would say for me, I was never afraid of getting COVID. My belief was, I thought that, and it may have been naive on my part, I always thought that my body was healthy enough to handle it. My lifestyle was gonna allow my body to handle it. That was for me. So I never was scared, like I said, of getting it, because I'm always self-medicating myself with elderberry, turmeric, juices, and all of that. My biggest scare came from probably business wise. I didn't want anyone thinking that I was running my business unsafe. Right. So that was probably the biggest worry for me, because I know how I am, and I know what kind of environment that I wanted people to be in. So to be transparent and have to tell people that the business owner had COVID, I think that was the biggest disappointment, or I felt like a sense of ownership or embarrassment for it. Even though it was something that I couldn't control, it just automatically was something that made me feel defeated at the moment. It was like worse than me having COVID. It was just, just felt like a sense of being defeated.
Is there any protocols, you being a business owner and understanding what you're dealing with? I can only imagine, some of the things that you've been thinking about, but what are some of the protocols, if any, that you have to go back through just to get back to being normal as a business owner? I mean, because obviously you want to get out there that, hey, we're safe. This is not necessarily here at my business. It was an isolated situation. I mean, kind of tell us about that.
Right. Well, pretty much I was doing everything a business was supposed to be doing. Like I said, when clients come in, they have to remain 6 feet apart. My bikes in the room, they're 6 feet apart. When people come in, they get sanitized and they get their temperatures checked. They can't remove their mask until they get to their stations. Whenever they're done at cycling, they wipe off their bikes, and then I go back and re-sanitize their bikes, and then we spray the room with the COVID killing solution. So everything that a business is supposed to be doing, I was doing it. It was just, somebody ended up having it. They probably didn't know they had it, and
No, it's perfectly understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think that, because even with the gym that I belong to, it was one of the first things that I thought of. I said, okay, I wonder their cleanliness. What is it what are their protocols? And what I was very satisfied about was that when I walked in, I mean, in every part of the gym, it re-explained what they do on a daily. Kind of like a timeline to make you feel secure. So that really made me feel good at the same time.
And that's what a lot of people say. They're like, Marquita, we feel safe at your place. Like, we feel super safe because we watch everything that you do. And like I said, before COVID, I was crazy. My clients was scared to even cough or to sniff. It was like this girl.
Well, you had this launch. You had this launch of this business, and I was looking at the pictures and everything, and I said, let me just get in my car and just drive down there, because I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this, and I'm still hold me to that. Yeah. Please do. So I said, I'm going to do this and everything, because even I got family there in Tulsa, and I was telling them about your Blueprint Studio, and my cousin. One of the first things that he said to me, he goes, "Man, I already know about that. That's down there in the old Black District." And I was like,
yes.
I said, so you know about, I said, yeah. I said, you know about the Blueprint? He said, uh-huh. He said, that's that crazy lady. And I said, huh? I said, what you? I said, hold up, that crazy lady. She works out all the time. People be talking about, she's on Instagram and this and that. I said, so 366 Fit Mom. He said, He's those because my girlfriend actually follows her, and so I was laughing because when I talked to her, she was like, oh yeah. She said that girl bad. I said, well, do me a favor. I said, that's a good friend of mine from college. I said, but go back and watch the video that we did before. And she did. She came back. She said, yeah, I'm coming. Now, I don't know if she came.
What's her name?
What's that? Oh, Shanika. Shanika is her name. Yes.
Not yet.
Not yet. You ain't get. No. Well, here's the thing. If you this is how you know Shanika. Shanika she's always had a blonde little strip in her head. And yeah, she keeps that blonde little strip in her head. I thought it was like a signifying a skunk or something, but it was not. But it's funny because here it is. She keeps this little blonde little strip in her head, but she's cute as she can be. Probably about 5'2" and do what you can. But with all that being said, I know she's gonna come. She's gonna have to because I made a bet with her, so don't worry. About
yeah. People know I'm crazy, so but I'll take it. I'll take it.
Well, no, it's really good because when we talk about not only your business, we talk about people coming or whatever the case may be, especially for African Americans. I mean, for you to open up in a historically Black area that's not just known locally, but known, I'm gonna say worldwide. Because you can't talk about Tulsa, Oklahoma without talking about what happened years and years ago, but especially in that area. How proud did that make you feel that you could do this not only for yourself but for others and be a part of history? Oh
man, it made me feel so much joy to be a Black woman on Black Wall Street, having a Black business. Yes. I mean, it don't get no better than that. No better.
Especially during times like this, and here we are coming up on an election, and the just to get the Black vote is crazy itself. I mean, I the atmosphere itself of just knowing that you're part of this history. I mean, for me to know that you are part of this history makes me feel really good. And like I told you, I'm a big supporter of what you do because I think you're changing people's lives. And you're changing people's lives. But before we get out of here, there's a question that I love to always ask amongst all my clients. I like to say clients, but of course my guests. Faith is everything, and we talked about this before, that faith is everything to you. And of course, any particular scriptures or encouraging words that would you be willing to share that has been that driving force for you during this time of quarantine?
For me, I read this daily devotional called Jesus Calling. To me, it is probably the most prophetic thing that I could read. It's always on point and on time on a daily basis for me. So it's the thing that's been getting me through, keeping me encouraged, because every day it has something that feeds my soul, and it's just going over trusting him and trusting his plan, and not depending on self and worrying about what other people say. Because like I said, for me, with this whole COVID thing, I went into a whole state of feeling guilt and shameful, like the COVID belonged to me. So just was worrying about what other people were going to think about me and my business. But this right here, it made me toughen up. It made me toughen up and know that his opinion is the only opinion, and the promise that he promised me, he didn't lie. He's just working some things out, and maybe this happened to where I could educate people on what COVID looks like in a healthy body. What it looks like in a healthy body. We see it from a sick point, but it's disguised its body. It's disguised itself in my body, and I could be, had I not been an advocate for my own health, I could be out there spreading it amongst
Right.
a lot of people. So it happened to me so I could educate, other people. So this keeps me humble. It keeps me, in the process, that I'm in.
I'm going to go ahead and ask this because I'm watching your videos. I saw you were cycling one day, and I want to say you were cycling in some flip flops or whatever.
No, I probably was in shoes.
You was in some shoes. It looked like you was like in some flip flops. I said, "This girl, what is she doing?" But it made me. It may either way. Maybe I saw you on the back of your porch area. It's like so I take your picture. It was like you were right next to your bedroom or whatever. But here's the thing that got me is that I got to thinking. I said, I wonder if somebody called her and said, "Girl, I need a class. I need a session." And you just said, "Forget it. I'm gonna go ahead and do this." And you filmed it, or you were going through. And I said, I wonder if she's trying to run some classes from virtually, because if that's the case, she's going to put that other business out of business that you see people. I don't even want to throw them out there because they ain't paying you. Peloton, or what is it called? Peloton or whatever it is. Anyway, they ain't paying you. But I said, if she.
To eat. I said, there's enough out here for all of us to eat.
Exactly. And then I said, she's probably running a class virtually. And she's gonna get away with it. And so I just got to thinking. I said, that's probably Marquita. My God, did you ever think? Well, I have to ask a question. Did you ever feel like, you know what? Let me just put a camera right here, and everybody can join me on Zoom, and we good to go, or what?
I get people ask all the time. Whenever I was in the studio, I would run the classes live. But I mean, through COVID, now it's birthed it to where as soon as I get back in the studio, I'll have it to where people can tap in and buy the class, to where I'm not giving it away for free. Now I'm able to make some money. So some good has been birthed out of COVID. So making ways for people to ride with me who've been wanting to ride with me that aren't here in Tulsa. So yeah.
Well, if anybody is just joining this interview, because obviously I have been on for these last almost a half an hour now talking to CEO, of course, owner of Blueprint, Miss Marquita Owens. And she's a cycling instructor there in the Tulsa, Oklahoma area. Black Wall Street area to be exact. And of course, with that being said, she was a victim of COVID. So she's been explaining to us a little bit about her experiences and as far as what she's been dealing with and everything. Is there anything particular that you would like to say to the audience before we go that we haven't yet to cover?
I would just say, don't be afraid of being tested. I feel like that's one reason why people don't get tested, is because they're afraid. I would say that was probably one of the reasons why I probably never wanted to get tested. My blood pressure, even thinking about it, like went up through the roof. But I mean, the test is not that bad. Get tested. Be an advocate for your health and other people's health, because what you may think are symptoms that you always have, I'm a living testimony that, hey, that's not always true. I haven't ran a temperature this whole time, and temperature is one thing that they've said. I haven't had any major symptoms. So, COVID has snuck its way inside my body. So I would hate for someone to have the same symptoms that I have and just brush it off as it just being a common cold or allergies. I would say we're not in a season to where we can take this lightly. It may rest in your body easy, but may kill someone else. So I just say get tested.
Well said. One last thing. What is the first thing that you're going to do once you come out of this quarantine?
Go in the studio and get on a bike.
I had a feeling that you was gonna say that. I was thinking, well, maybe I'll come out and hug my husband and my kids or something. You tell Ready Freddy, my buddy, hey, look, he need to hold you down just for a little bit.
Exactly.
It's all good.
I feel like I need to get on the bike, play a good gospel song, and just cry my eyes out.
Well, Leandria, was that? There's a song by Leandria, and I can't even think of the name of it, but she is, it's amazing. And one of my friends, Miss TT, had just sent it to me the other day, and I think it's her most popular song out right now, and I can't even think of the name of it. Oh my God. Ah.
You have to send it to me.
Yeah, I'll send it to you because that puts me in a place as we speak, and especially during all this. But first, I just want to thank you for joining my show tonight and just being you, girl. Like I told you, whether I'm talking to you or not, I watch your videos. You encourage me. I said it before. You this was going to turn into something major, and I still feel that something else is going to happen. It's going to even go to a whole nother level. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I know, but
Hey.
last time I was with you, that's what you said. Blueprint was in the making.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, hey, maybe you can put me in a book someday in the back and say, okay, Marlon Graves or whatever. It's all good. It's all good now. I'm going to keep on bringing you on my show, and it's going to keep elevating as we go and everything. But, hey, once again, thank you for joining us tonight. And, of course, Marquita, God's love, Godspeed. Get better, and I'm looking forward to us doing this again, but for other reasons. Okay?
I know, right?
For other reasons. All right, young lady, you have a good one. And guys, listen, if you want to join me live with Brother May's show each and every and I've changed it, first and third Wednesdays of every month after this show comes back out. Please join me, and just join me at live with Brother May's .com to get any updates. And again, I'm your brother from another mother, Brother Mays. I'm always doing what I do. So peace.